Hi guys, hope you're having a good day. I am. Well, I've been beating around the bush on this reality thing that's going on here between you and I. Well, I was laying there dying for the last couple of years. A couple times I could feel myself leaving my body. And as I was doing it, you know, things came in my mind. This silly old mind of mine. And I figured out a way that if we all worked together, we could add about uh, 5 years to what the scientists say. The scientists say we got about 20 years before Mama Earth can't rejuvenate herself. With all the global heating and the stink that we're putting out, we got to do something about. Well, I figured out a way of using plastic and making it all come together. But I need help. Can't do it by myself. So, this is a call to arms, y'all. If you get together, you know how you can get so much done? One man can do a lot, but when there's two of them, you can do three men's work. When there's three of them, you can do 5 men's work. It just goes exponentially. You get more and more and more to people to get things to get done. And I know there's people out there that care about this earth. I just know there is. And I got a patent pending, and I've got to get it together where I can get this bottle made. I designed a new bottle. Isn't that crazy? Laying in bed designing a new bottle. But this bottle, if I can get it made, will save the world. It really will, at least for 5 years more, and then you guys can figure out another 5 years, 10 years, or better ways to do it. But the way I figured it out is if you take a plastic bottle, say you got two of them, like water bottles, and with my design, you can fit them together and use them like bricks, where they lock together like dovetails, and then you put another one on top of it, and it fits right in, and it won't come apart, and it won't go down. And you just connect all these bottles together, and you can build anything you want out of them. Me being an old carpenter, I see these sort of things in my mind all the time. I can't do it anymore, but if I got those bottles and got them together, I could actually fit them together and make things out of them one at a time, just sitting in this wheelchair. Little kids can build with these bottles. Not like round bottles. They're a whole different shape. I'll get them made, and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Pretty hard to describe. Some people might understand. A triangle. A triangle. It's like one of the strongest shapes there is. And this triangle shape and dovetails on the sides, you can fit a bottle together and it's waterproof. Wind won't go through with it. Water won't go through it. And you can just fit them all together. The outside wall you can run water through. You go in and pour that insulation in that you squirt in and it just fills them up. You can make them as strong as any board or steel that we got, and they'll last 1,000 years, they say, or more. Nobody knows how long plastic will really last. Scientists have found it's 500 years old, and they think it'll last longer than that. There ain't nothing out there that lasts that long. and we just throw it away, recycle it. Why recycle it? Use it. Just redesign the bottle or container. You don't have to just put drinkables in it. You can put food in it, anything in it, anything that's in the store. You can put in bottles that are shaped right, and they'll all fit together. Can you imagine what you can build? These houses would handle earthquakes because they wouldn't come apart. Stuff inside will get knocked off shelves and stuff, but the house will still be together. I mean, it just won't come apart. The way they're designed, they can't come apart. They all just fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. You can design them any shape you want. You can build one room onto another room, onto another room, onto another room. You can go up, you can go down, you can go sideways. A flood comes, they'll float. Your house will just rise. You can hook it to ground with some concrete, put some stakes in it, and as the water rises up, the house goes up. When the water goes down, you just wind yourself down and you're right back where you were sitting before. You know, we don't build houses like that. We could, just with these bottles I got designed. Well, it might be a silly way if you think about it to save the planet. But while I was laying in bed, something said I had to get up out of bed and do it. So that's what I'm doing. And I figure there's a lot of you out there that'll help this old man get it done. Like Larry the Cable Guy says, get it done. Only in America. Well, this wouldn't be just only in America. This will spread like wildfire around the world. Can you imagine plastic bottles in the third world countries where they don't have water and stuff? You can just put them together and make a pipe out of them, run them for miles and miles and miles, and run water through them. You can build a hut out of them. You can build a greenhouse out of them. You can paint them any color and shape you want. I mean, it just, you can fit them together like mosaics and make any different color or shape. You could have labels. I mean, you could have labels stamped in them from every company that makes anything. And they'd be helping save the planet and still selling their stuff in the stores. All the stuff in the stores we buy in tin cans, aluminum cans, plastic cans, cardboard cans. All this waste of packaging, this waste of, you know, that plastic that you try to open and get containers out of, you got to cut them with a pair of scissors or a razor knife. You see how stuffed that stuff is? When you're done with it, it doesn't do anything. You throw it away. You got to quit doing that. We got to make it where we can just reuse it. Well, I got the designs in my mind. And I got them on a piece of paper, and I sent them to me, you know. So that's how you get a patent. So before somebody else steals it from you. I hope this one didn't get stolen because I asked the minister that I grew up with to come over, and I told him about it. Asked him to draw me some blueprints because I was laying in bed and couldn't get up at that time and was shaking so much trying to get stronger. So I asked him to draw these pictures for me. And he said he'd get them back to me in a couple of weeks, and I haven't heard back from him. And he was going over to Japan. I hope that man didn't try to steal what I told him. But he might have, because if you think about it, there's a lot of money in it. Can you imagine if you were the guy that designed every bottle that was made out there everywhere? What it'd be worth? I'm not trying to get rich. I'm trying to get a patent on non-profit. And we could solve so many problems with the money that you can make off it. The teachers won't have to go on strike to be able to teach their kids. You know, the firemen wouldn't have to beg for money. All they'd have to do is save bottles. It's so simple and so easy and so complex. Any of you guys out there, designers, once these bottles are made, you can start designing so many things. It'll put so many people to work, and it'll just grow and grow and grow and grow, and we quit wasting. And then we quit. When we quit wasting, we quit using. And the whole trick is you got to quit using and quit polluting. And it's a really neat idea. I'm sure of it. You know, I was going to sell my house and do it, but now they're trying to sue me for my medical bills. I don't understand doctors. 30 years ago, I got in a wreck, and I ended in the hospital. Well, they took me to 1, 2, 3, 4 hospitals. First hospital was Cleon Hospital. They took me in there and took x-rays of me on this machine that was made in 1909 or something. Ancient old x-ray machine. And I told them not to. I told the ambulance drivers, who were friends of mine, to take me to Yakima. They said the rules, they couldn't do it. So they had to take me to the nearest hospital. So they took me to the nearest hospital, charged me $150 to take me into the hospital, charged me for the x-rays, charged me another $150 putting me back in the ambulance to take me to the next hospital. The next hospital, they let me lay there for 3 days until I went into shock. And then they listened to me and took me down to Yakima, where I wanted to go in the first, because I knew Yakima had better equipment and surgery. And finally down there, they cut me open to do exploratory surgery. Well, that was stupid. There was nothing wrong on the inside. I had 3 crushed vertebrae. So they helicoptered me over to Tacoma here, down at St. Joe's, or whatever. One of those saints down here in Tacoma. And my belly was cut open and I'm coughing, and they're saying, cough, cough, cough. It's good for you. Get that stuff out of you. And I'm saying, nurse, it's something's ripping inside when I cough. And they wouldn't listen to me. I asked them for something to go around the middle so it didn't hurt so bad inside. They wouldn't listen to me. They just kept giving me Vicodin and telling me to shut up. And finally, I had to get out of that damn hospital. And they put this weird back brace thing. It went around my neck and around my head and held my back up straight and around my waist, some sort of metal concoction. And when I finally got out of the hospital, that friend of mine lived up in Samosack in that cabin where the rat is, the rat named Nixon. Well, I lived up there and took care of myself in the dark because I was too embarrassed to be around my friends. But that didn't work out too well because my friends all came up and took care of me. They brought me food and they partied with me, and every day I just walk. There was this big campground, Curlstis, and it had roads that went around and around and different. And I just walked and talked to people that were camping and stuff. And pretty soon I was walking a half a mile, and then a mile, and then 2 miles, and then 3 miles. And then I got on the main road and walked down to the next bridge. It was 10 miles away. And then I had to walk 10 miles back home. I was totally exhausted. I went too far that day. So the next day I started to try to run. And I ran until I got stronger and stronger, and I got stronger and went back to work. But one side of my belly had ruptured inside and started growing out and getting bigger and bigger. But I didn't have no money to take care of this, and I wasn't going to go back to the damn hospital that gave it to me. So I just lived with it. Went back to taking care of life, working. And my back, I got over that. Kind of, it still hurts. It hurts real bad now, but I was able to go back to work being a carpenter, doing my job, helping the world build things, because that's all I knew to do. I don't know what else to say here, except you just gotta get stronger.